this. On Nostalgia, everybody has a good voice, so relax and go in the zone with us. Get your songbook, look in the index, find the song that is playing, and sing along. Join ZIZ Radio every Thursday from 1 to 3 for Nostalgia. It's music to soothe you right where it hurts. ZIZ Radio, touching you with variety and style.
Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down.
And that's what we're doing. We're slowing it down to get into our conversation this morning. In the studio with me, I have Officer Bell. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Welcome as usual.
Good morning, GQ. Good morning, Radio Land.
All right. Real quick, before we get into our conversation, for those of you who are just tuning in, 465, pardon me, 1977, 465, 1903, and 662-8674. Those are the numbers to call to get in. We'll hear from Officer Bell first, and then we'll take it from there.
Yes. Good morning, GQ again. Our topic today is the authorization to transfer ownership of motor vehicles on behalf of companies and businesses. So these are the traffic operating policies amendment.
Okay.
The purpose of this policy establishes clear standards governing who is authorized to transfer ownership of motor vehicles on behalf of company or business entity. It is intended to protect companies, purchasers, and the licensing authority from fraud, unauthorized transactions, disputes over ownership, while ensuring the vehicle ownership records remain accurate, lawful, and verifiable. Okay, we have 4 different types of companies or businesses that we look at. Companies incorporated under the Companies Act, partnership businesses, sole traders operating under a registered business name, and statutory body or government ministries. Now, we chose this topic because we realize we have a lot of back and forth, a lot of misunderstanding, and a lot of conflict with persons when they are coming to the department to transfer ownership. And it is different when you're transferring ownership with different vehicles. Me selling you a vehicle compared to ZIZ selling me one of their vehicle is too different. It most of the procedures may be similar, but each type would have a difference in it. Okay. I will just outline the authorized persons for each. The incorporated entity. The transfer may be executed by A, a director of the company, B, the company secretary, or C, any other officer or employee formally authorized in writing by the company's board of directors. And we make sure put formally authorized in writing, in bold, because you don't want GQ coming to traffic saying he's transferring a vehicle on behalf of ZIZ to Bell without proper authorization, and next thing, Bell now have ownership of that vehicle and ZIZ is disputing. How was that done without any confirmation from them?
Right.
The partnership transfer may be executed by any named partner list on the partnership registration or a person authorized in writing by all partners. 3, sole traders are registered business. The transfer may be executed by the registered owner of the business or a person authorized in writing by the registered owner. Statutory body or government ministries, the transfer may be executed by the accounting officer, the chief executive officer, or equivalent, or a senior officer of the Ministry of Finance. So back up to the partnership, me and you, GQ, may have a business together. I cannot just get up today and sell a vehicle to one of the technicians without your authorization, because we are mutually owners of that business. So that agreement must be from both of us.
Right.
Okay? And if none of us are available to go and do that transfer of ownership, we must put something in writing and sign. Both of us must sign.
Right. Because that's based on the ownership policy that was put in place.
Yes.
Okay.
And if for instance I may be overseas and unavailable to sign, I will send a notarized letter granting you, the other person in charge of the business, permission to transfer ownership on both of our behalf.
Right.
And that must be notarized.
Right.
It cannot be just get up today and write on a piece of paper, sign it, and send it to the traffic department. It must be notarized.
Right.
Sole traders, the same thing. The registered owner can sell the vehicle, because sole trader, that will be just one owner. And if they are not available, they now can send a notarized letter granting whoever they wish to do that transaction on their behalf to sell that vehicle to someone else.
Right.
But everything must be notarized.
Right. Got
Okay.
you. Got you.
Back to the...
In other words, consent must be given.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you.
Sorry. We had this conversation Monday on Win FM, and persons were disputing why not have a form instead of persons writing a letter. Now, there's no dispute in that, whether having a form or a letter. What we are looking for is the consent from the persons who are authorized to transfer the ownership. We must have those signatures. Some persons were of the view, why not have for example, the incorporated companies are the companies, they send one specific person to do those transfer on their behalf. Now, we don't have any problem with that. The issue we have is that we don't want that a company will kind of say, hey, GQ is who is in charge of selling vehicles from ZIZ, and then tomorrow GQ employment is terminated. You guys don't inform the traffic department about his termination, but yet he can still come to the traffic department and transfer vehicles based on the consent from ZIZ. Now, that is a type of fraud, yes, but we don't want that it happens and now it gives the police more work to go and investigate when it could have been resolved at hand. So we are asking, anytime the companies are sending persons, they send a current authorization for that person.
So it should be updated.
Yes, it should be updated.
Okay.
Even if it's not every day, maybe every 3 months or every 6 months. And once someone is terminated from the business who you had in charge of doing those transfers, you immediately inform the traffic department.
Here's a question for you, Officer Bell. And this is coming from online. This person is asking, why aren't all letters being notarized? And they give an example. Because in this era of fraud, who is to say someone doesn't forge a partner's signature in regard to a partnership, etc., etc.?
Well, based on what I stated just now, I think I said everything must be notarized.
Well, they're listening online, so maybe they're behind. So maybe they're now.
And when it
that,
comes to the companies, we ask for the stamps, the seals, from those companies.
Okay. 465-1977, 465-1903, 662-8674. Those are the numbers to call to get in with your questions and concerns.
Yes. Once the registered owners or the persons authorized to do those transfer are not available, the letter of consent must be notarized.
Okay.
But if the authorized persons are present, we don't need a notarized letter.
Okay.
Okay. We are not asking for everyone from the board of directors to be present at the traffic department for a transfer, but there must be a mutual agreement from all the members in writing to state that we have all came to a mutual agreement that GQ can transfer ownership of this vehicle.
Right.
Now, in the letters, when persons are directing the letters to the traffic department, they direct it to the licensing authority. And when they're directing the letters, they must include the vehicle's registration number, the chassis number, the engine number, the engine size, and the seating of the vehicle, and the weight. Those are the basic stuff that we are looking for in the letters.
Those are what's required.
Yes, because these are the information that we will need. These are the information that we will need. We don't need a long letter stating what you're going to sell it for, why, how much the person bought it for, stuff like that. We just need the information for the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay.
Real quick for technicians that are listening, we are getting complaint that our audio is coming through on television, on ZIZ television, and also our audio is down in Keyon and the Spooners area, right? So for technicians that are listening, please take note. Our audio is down in the Keyon, Spooners area, and also Upper St. Peter's as well. And lastly, our audio is coming through ZIZ television. Thanks for your assistance. Back over to you, Bell.
Yes. Number 4 of the policy, the mandatory documents. All applications for transfer of ownership on behalf of a business entity must be accompanied by the following. 1. Proof of authorization, being one of the following: a letter of authorization on the company's official letterhead, signed and stamped by the director or company secretary. A certified board resolution authorizing the transaction, or partnership authorization signed by all partners, or for sole traders authorization signed by the business owner. Number 2, identity of the person executing the transfer, a valid government issued photo ID. Now, you may come to the traffic department, you do have an ID, but the ID is expired. Even though we personally can verify who you are, by law, it must be valid. You cannot go to any other business, especially the bank, and do any transaction with an expired ID. So, and we find that persons feel as if we are not being lenient or having any discretion for them when they come to the department and they don't have certain documents. But when they go other places and the businesses tell them, well, you cannot do nothing until you get the ID, they make it priority. But when they come to the traffic department, they feel as if we can just bend the rules for everybody. And later down the line, we are the one who are going to be sued. Even the person who we might have tried to help out may turn against us. So.
Once again, 465-1977, 465-1903, and 662-8674. If you try 465-1977 and you don't get through, try 465-1903, one of those. Or lastly, 662-8674. Someone has indicated that they are trying the numbers and they are not getting through. So if you try one and you don't get through, try the next one. We have 3 numbers. One of them should work.
Yes. And lastly, for the mandatory document, a vehicle registration certificate and any other documents required under existing licensing regulation or policies. Okay, so as I said, even though there might be some differences when it comes to the different types of businesses, the basic stuff are the ID, the vehicle information, the vehicle registration certificate, and whoever is authorized are the registered owner of the vehicle.
Right.
Verification and due diligence. Traffic department staff shall verify the identity of the person executing the transfer. Examine and retain copies of the authorization documents. Confirm that the signatory is consistent with the company's registered officers where applicable. Refuse to process any transfer where documentation is incomplete, inconsistent, or appears to be fraudulent. Now we have an issue, especially when persons are coming for temporary license. You know, they come with the temporary license, and based on examining their documents, the officer is not comfortable issuing the temporary license because they have to do further examination.
Hold on, thought. We have a call. Hey, good morning. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Officer Bell.
Morning, sir.
Not to divert from the topic this morning, but I don't know if you have realized recently, there's a really growing concern of, many people using these scooters as a way of transportation.
Yep.
Right? Now, I don't have a problem with that, because
I do.
it has become something that people really use to get around, etc., etc. Right? But my concern is that they're actually using. I have seen consistently at mornings adults taking preschoolers to school on those scooters. They are standing behind, and the child is in front of them. No helmet. None of the two parties have helmets on, and for me, it's a growing concern, right? We're talking about registration numbers and stuff like that, and so I really think that traffic department need to really look into these things before something seriously actually happens, right? And they're actually on the main road at mornings when the traffic is extremely busy, right? And I think it would be unfortunate if something do happen and we as drivers get caught in it. So I really would like the traffic department to really look into it and do something about it really serious. I don't really quickly put something in law or something like that, they should use these things properly and where they should use them. All right? So not to divert from the topic this morning, but that's just a growing concern for me. Thank you and good program.
And thank you for your call. And forgive me, I normally put the disclaimer at the top while we have our topics of concern that the department would like the public to be aware of. It is still an open discussion for you to get in with your concerns. You said you had a problem with...
I do have a problem with it. He's saying that he don't really have a problem with it, but I personally have a problem with it, especially as a accident investigator. Now these what should I call them? Scooters, bikes. They're motorized
scooters.
They're motorized
scooters, yeah.
And anything that is motor propelled should be licensed and insured, especially being on the road. And if these scooters or bikes get in accidents, there's no insurance to cover. Serious injuries can be caused, and they are not using the road properly. They're not adhering to the stop signs, the no right turns and stuff like that, because they're off the view. They don't have motor vehicles, so they can't get a ticket. And then you find kids, especially, still under the age of 16, they're on these bikes and they're just running the road. And some of these bikes are so similar to the court scooters, are even as fast as them. Now, when we're going to have children, I mean, we don't want to deny them their joy and their fun, but we need to go back to the normal bikes, because even the normal bikes, the children are not using them properly because they should have on helmets and stuff like that. But we be a little lenient with them.
Mm-hmm.
But we find these motorbikes now, you're going to be driving on the road, and then all of a sudden you see a scooter just come out in the road.
Well, the concern he has raised before we take this call, what can be done from the authorities?
They are actually having a discussion about that, to put some restrictions in place for because not just me alone, the whole department has an issue. It's nothing personal, but persons are not going to complain until they are affected by it.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're live.
Greetings.
Yes, greetings.
Hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Okay. The officer just said, use a word there, nothing personal, but it's on personal. No, listen. You don't make them blanket statement there. There. It's not everyone who ride those bikes ride recklessly. So now make them blanket statement. You got people who dip on the road on them bikes there, and they take the time and they up there whatever. You see me? Do you hear me, good officer?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Me not hear no response, but anyhow,
Yes,
don't make
I'm
them
listening.
blanket statement. Me understand why you say and why the concern of the police and the concern of certain people and things like that. But it's not everyone. So no drop it so like everybody who rides scooter do as they like. No, that not go on. So please don't do that. Me think me said this already, because someone, a citizen, call in and raise it as a concern, I'm not wrong to observe these things, but we have to deal with these things in ways where, it's reasonable. You see me? Give thanks.
All right, man.
Okay, to respond to that caller, making it personal is dealing with one set of persons and leaving another set. Now, if we're going to enforce the law, and we are speaking about the motorized scooters or the motorized bike, and we deal with one set of persons and not the other set, we're going to put ourselves in problems. The law is for everybody. So it's like saying we're dealing with broken windscreen, but because we know GQ to be law-abiding, we leave GQ and we go and target somebody else who we feel lawless. And then that person is going to say, well, we're taking it personally against them. So if we're going to execute and enforce the law, we can't just speak about those who are using the road recklessly. We speak generally about everyone that is using those vehicles on the road.
So to go back to the caller concern, so the consideration, well, hopefully the consideration has taken into account his concerns in terms of it's not everyone.
Yes, we realize that it's not everyone is being malicious on the road with these stuff, but if we target one set of persons and leave the other set, we're gonna cause another problem.
Okay.
And then when we prosecute these people, they're gonna make reference to others who we are leaving, and then what it makes us look like we are not impartial.
Right.
It makes us look partial.
So in other words, you're not planning to stop people from using them. You're just going to put restrictions in place.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's what he wants to hear.
Yes, we're not stopping anyone from using them, but if they're being used, there must be certain things in place for these vehicles, for these scooters or bikes.
Okay. All right. 465 1977, 465 1903, 662 8674. Try any of those numbers to see if you can get in on the conversation. And while we are looking at ownership policy as it relates to transfer of ownership, that it is transfer of ownership. That's what
Yes.
we're talking about, right?
Yes.
That even though that's our topic for this morning, we are open to hear from you and what's your concerns, and the Officer Bill will do his best to address those concerns for you. This person says, I don't have a problem with people using them, but it's where and how it's used. For example, on the main roads,
Yes.
that's where traffic is extremely busy. Some consideration should be taken into, them not using motorized scooters on the main road. Go on to say, if anything happens, they are not covered, no insurance, nothing. My concern is that adult taking children on them could be dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Good morning. You're live.
Hi, good morning. For the listening audience, Officer Bell, what is the procedure in change of ownership when someone leave the island? And also, many times those who are students would have leave and they would left their vehicle for sale. How do one go about doing a change of ownership, seeing that both persons have to be present? And when you're present, what are the requirements you have to present in doing the change of ownership? Also, part two, what is the time frame that you have in order to have your vehicle insured after you have done the change of ownership? And if that period has passed, what happens after? I will listen off here.
Okay. First question, if the registered owner or the person authorized to transfer ownership of that vehicle is not present, as I state, they must send a notarized letter. If they're in Canada, they're in England, America, they must go by a notary republic, get their letter notarized with the information required, the chassis number, the weight of the vehicle, the engine number, the engine size, the registration number. I said the weight of the vehicle, right? Yes, all that included, and who they are granting permission to transfer ownership on their behalf included in that. And they send it to the traffic department. It can be digitally, trafficsk@police.kn, or trafficnv@police.kn. That's Nevis, SK, St. Kitts. So if the person is not present, for example, a student, they must send a notarized letter granting someone transferring that vehicle on their behalf.
All right.
And the second question is, I am not sure how long they have to insure that vehicle. I know after doing a registration, though, they have 7 days to go to the Inland Revenue to finalize that transfer. After they had go to the Inland Revenue and finalize that transfer, they go to the insurance and insure the vehicle to get it licensed. So that timing, I would assume, I could be corrected, it's on the new owner.
Officer Bell, we'll have to end the conversation there.
Yes.
It's 9 o'clock in the studio. Thank you for calling in. For those of you who did, thanks to those of you who sent in your messages. We appreciate it. We are back next week.
Yes.
Same time, same place to have another discussion.
Yes.
Officer Bell,
Maybe I could try come next week with the scooter problem.
I'm just about to say that. Maybe we can address that next week.
Yes. I will talk with the sergeant. He's not here today. He had some personal business to deal with.
Okay.
So that is something going as a concern to the traffic department, though.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks for being here. And guys, stay tuned. We have our 9 o'clock report coming up next.
Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day driver, what's your emergency? You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care?